Hi guys, this is just a little video for those of you who are either completely new to the game or who have played the game before the major update and who are now trying to get their head around the changes, because there have been some significant changes and new stuff has been added. Alright, so as you know, you can just walk around pretty much like in first person shooter. You can run, you can crouch, you can jump, you can even lean to the right, lean to the left, or even toggle this if you press it only shortly. Alright, so that's pretty obvious. And of course you can teleport like you used to, like so. But what is new is that there is a camera mode now, actually two. And I want to explain one first, which is called the free camera. And you can engage that by pressing F3. So as you can see, nothing seems to have changed, except that the little white dot is gone away. That's basically the only indication that you are in camera mode. And now, if I move, I'll start to fly around, like so. If I use shift, I can go faster. And currently I have to do this to go up and down. Alright. Now, if you want to exit this camera mode, you cannot press F3 again. So I can press this all the time, nothing will ever happen. You have to press F1. That will put you back in first person mode. And what you can see is that I'm now back in the position I had started the camera mode. So that means the camera mode does not change your actual position. Let me make that more obvious. If I go inside the train and switch into camera mode, I'm still in the train. It's just that the camera can move outside. If I want to change my position, like if I want to travel somewhere else and then, for example, I want to travel onto the roof, the best way to do this is to press F or press and hold F. And now I've changed my actual position. So you can do all these kinds of things. Fly around, hit F, and there you are. Start back flying. Press and hold F. And here you go. Alright. Another camera mode is if you press F2. This is also an external camera mode, but it's linked to your train. If I use the mouse wheel, I can now zoom in, zoom out, like so. And I can also move a bit to the left, move a bit to the right. That's very useful if you have a long train and you're trying to see what's going on in the back or so. Alright, so these are the three modes. You have first person, external camera number 1, which is linked to a train, and external camera number 3, which is a free camera. You want to go back to first person, press F1 or hit the F key to go somewhere else. Now for all these three modes there is something that you can engage on top of that, which is called the mouse mode. Let me jump back in the train. If I press the Alt key, the usual mouse cursor appears. And wait a second. Oh, okay, that's... Alright. So if I press the Alt key, I can no longer look around. Instead, I get a mouse cursor. And I can now interact with all these buttons without having to turn my head. You can also let me show you. You can also use this to change switches, for example. And you can see that we are in mouse mode because of these buttons down here. Let's just forget about these buttons for now, because they can be a bit confusing. But as long as you see buttons, these kind of buttons, the mouse mode is currently active. If I go to the free camera, so F3, I can also use the mouse mode. And now, as you can see, I can hover over trains and do certain things. For example, I could decouple those two trains, or I could set the handbrake. What's also very useful is that you can click this little button here and it will show you an information about this train, and it stays active, so you can just hover over trains to see what job they belong to and what their label is and all kinds of useful information. And as you can see, I can, while I'm in mouse mode, I can still look around by using right click. So this is super handy. I can fly around, see these information, and I can also see some information about the locomotive here. You can see by this symbol, for example, that we are inside this train. So if I press F1, I'm back in the train. Sometimes you tend to forget to end mouse mode. Always remember, as long as you see these buttons, you have to exit mouse mode. Alright, what else? Let me just check this. Let's go back to the free camera. If you want, you can disengage these hover over effects by disengaging this button here. It's called Context UI. If I turn this off, it's just the free camera. If I turn that on, I get all these information here. Let's turn this off. Alright, what else do we have? There's also a photo mode. It's called photo mode. If you click that, the game by default will pause, as you can hear by the sound, and I think the edges will look a bit smoother and the camera just moves very smoothly. You get that cinematic effect. You can do this to do some nice screenshots without having to worry that you do something wrong, because the game has paused, but you can also disengage the pause and still be in photo mode. Alright. Let's quit this. What else? Another thing that I want to show you is the so-called driving UI. So we had F1, F2, F3, and if you hit F4, you get the driving UI. And you can actually drive the train by using these controls. So let me actually just... So you can even start the thing by using this control. Turn on these switches. It will actually move the switches inside the cab. So now we've started the loco. And the cool thing is you can control these by using the mouse wheel. You don't have to click. And now I can just drive around. I can switch to the free camera, go somewhere completely else, and still control what this thing is doing. See that? This is useful if you, for example, if you're driving and you want to go somewhere else to change switches while you're still in control of the train. It just adds a whole new way of how you can play the game. Takes a bit away the immersion, but you can decide for yourself how you want to play this. It's super easy. And you can use this driving UI also, for example, in the cab. Alright. Now let's see that we can stop the train before I crash it. But okay, you get the point. What's also pretty cool is that while you have this driving UI open, you can, again, you can either click around here and mess around with the controls, or if you right click you can still look around. So especially if you are in the external camera that spins around the wagon, so F2, that's extremely useful. You can control the train and then look around, control the train. Very powerful. Alright, so we got the camera, we got the photo mode, we got the driving UI, we got that, I think. That's all I wanted to show for now. Thanks for watching. I hope I could help you, give you some idea how it works. It's pretty complex. The way I do it is I just remember those 4 buttons. F1, first person. Alt key to engage or disengage the mouse mode. F2 for the external camera that spins around your current object. I can also, by the way, I could fly somewhere and click this button here, and now I'm kind of inside this wagon. So if I would use F2 now, it's centered around this wagon. All right. And then I could go back here, and now my camera should be moving around this one. Alright, thanks for watching, goodbye.